Tim with Online Big Blue, bringing you the best in New York Giants sports talk and entertainment. Well, luckily there's nothing going on in the world today. It's been quiet news cycle, I guess, for the last week, but let's get into the New York Giants linebacking core and David Mayo. Before we get started, I just wanted to briefly just talk or touch on the coronavirus. You got to live your life the way you want to live it. You got to do what you want to do. You take precautions, you take your chances. That's just the way life is. Don't put yourself in situations that are going to be harmful to you, because if you put yourself in those situations, you may be harmful to other people as well. I just tell people, you know what, relax, enjoy life. I'm currently sitting here this morning with a big cup Black Rifle coffee, silencer smooth, because it makes me happy, and I enjoy my coffee every day. And you know what? If I'm going to be stuck at home for the next couple weeks, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to sit here, talk Giant football every day, and drink my coffee. So I'm also going to put a quick link up to Black Rifle Coffee if you don't know about them. They are all veteran-owned and operated. Fantastic company, and they make a wonderful product. But before we do anything else, let's get into the signing of David Mayo. We're putting some Mayo on the defense. A 3-year pact at $4.8 million. We don't know all the details and financials. We don't know if he is getting a signing bonus, if that's all salary. I mean, if it's all salary, I doubt it is, but there's usually a bonus involved. You know, you're probably looking at the fact that he's going to have like $2 million or $2.2 million in salary plus bonuses. Great deal. It's a good deal. Great addition to the defense, or I should say a continuation of the offense. I mean, someone said it best a long time ago to me. Even on a bad defense, someone has to make the tackles. Now, of course, he played in all 16 games, started 13, have a total of 82 tackles, and that was pretty much good enough for second on the team. He had 2 sacks, a couple pass defenses, and 1 fumble recovery. I think Pro Football Focus had him ranked number 14, the 14th ranked linebacker. To me, for Pro Football Focus is a joke in some ways because of the fact that they do not take in a lot of variables. They don't take in the fact that alignments, defensive changes. They don't take into effect blown assignments. They don't take into effect competition level. They don't take into effect that if the other team is up by 30 and the other team is running the ball 40 times, you're going to have more tackles. So I've never been a big fan of Pro Football Focus, but I can say I am a quasi-fan of David Mayo. Is his addition going to make the Giants' linebacking core any better? No, it is not. If anything, it's just going to keep it status quo. Because right now, if you take a look at our linebackers on the roster, we have Buchanan, Carter, Downs, now Mayo, and Jimenez. Now, I think O'Shane Jimenez is going to fall more into the defensive end position once the season starts. I do think Carter's going to roll back into the linebacker position. Also, of course, we have Ryan Connolly. I did forget about Ryan because he's on injured reserve. I'm hoping Ryan comes back from the start of the season or start of training camp. Like I say, you never know with knee injuries. Everyone recovers differently. I mean, you look at Adrian Peterson, who came back like in 8 months. So you don't know. So we don't know what Connolly's going to look like on the depth chart, but we're hoping he's coming back. We don't know exactly what defense we're running. We're going to be running. Hopefully we'll get a better idea. But like I said, the starting linebacking core of Mayo, Connolly, and Carter, really does not excite me. Yes, I think that Mayo would be a fantastic addition on the team if he was the 5th linebacker. I really do. I think he would play wonderfully. I don't see O'Shane Jimenez really playing well into the linebacker position. He is athletic, but he is more of a pass rushing specialist. Buchanan, I think Buchanan is probably going to get off Buchanan's probably going to be off the roster. To be perfectly honest, I think he was a Betcher guy for the Betcher defense, but he showed nothing to me really. Carter, I think Carter can fill in, and he's probably going to fill back into his linebacker position. He played a lot of defensive end last year. I think he's more suited for the linebacking position. But again, even if we're going to go with 3 linebackers, having Connolly, Carter, and Mayo, again, not getting too excited about it. At the contract we're giving David Mayo, I'm not thinking that the Giants are thinking he's going to be a starting linebacker. I do think they think he's going to be a steady backup, and I think they're going to be looking towards draft and free agency. I mean, we go into free agency, my first choice always would be Corey Littleton. I mean, Littleton had 134 tackles, 3.5 sacks, 2 interceptions, 2 forced fumbles, but he is going to be breaking the bank. He's also an excellent cover linebacker. He does a little bit of everything, which is great. He's going to get a huge raise. I have a feeling, like I said, we've heard sources that he's going to go to Carolina, only because of the Luke Kuechly issue, that Carolina's going to be clearing cap space and make a huge push for Corey. Corey's, I think his market value is going to go up at least 15-20% because he is going to be the number 1 inside linebacker in the league now that Luke Kuechly is retired. But I think he's someone as a Giant perspective we should definitely look into. I still am a big fan of Blake Martinez. 155 tackles, 3 sacks, 1 interception, 1 forced fumble. He's averaged or posted at least 144 tackles in each of the last 3 seasons. His biggest area of improvement in the last the last 2 seasons has been his tackling. He can blitz. Can he cover? He covers well. He covers okay. Would I say he is a solid 3-down linebacker? No. But he can be, and everyone, I think, will be with me on this. We're tired of seeing the tight end slant across the middle and our linebackers or safeties not being able to cover it. So I think he might fall into that parameter, not being able to cover the slant. But you know what? If he's going to stop the run and stop, once they get into the second level, I am very happy with that. I know a lot of people talking about Kyle Van Noy. Kyle, he is, he had 56 tackles last year, 6.5 sacks, 0 interceptions, 3 forced fumbles. To me, he's going to fill more into one of the front 7 roles, which means I think he may be more of, I think he's going to fall more into the end position. He is one of the best rushing linebackers from the stand-up position. He kind of reminds me of Lawrence Taylor in that regards. Is he gonna be a huge impact player? No, I don't think he's gonna be a huge impact. But I think he is really he could be a versatile member of the front 7. You can drop him into coverage. You can put him into the, you can put him in the linebacking position. You can drop him onto an end position. Is that someone we're probably gonna end up getting? I know there's the connection, between Joe Judge and the Patriots and Van Noy, but you know what? I don't know. Belichick plays cards close to his vest. I know they really haven't had any conversations over, even last year, so, we'll have to wait and see. The only other players that I was looking at that, from the free agent perspective, one player I would like to possibly see the Giants go after, and I don't think he is going to be highly sought after on the market, is going to be John Bostick of the Washington Redskins. Last year, he had 105 tackles, 1 sack, 1 interceptions, and 0 forced fumbles. He found his success last year with the Redskins. He finally hit the 100-yard mark. He is basically a decent starter, but he can kind of play all 3 positions. And he didn't have a huge salary in 19. He had $1.8 million. He reminds me of Ryan Connolly, but a little bit more athletic. And I think his versatility, again, maybe even in the backup linebacker position or a fill-in starter, I think we can get him on the cheap. Well, we'll get him on the cheap compared to the other players on the market, or the linebackers on the market. But I think he could be someone for he could be a stopgap for maybe 2-3 years before we have to, or maybe even longer than that. And I think that if we go after someone like Isaiah Simmons in the draft, he could really be a calming influence on that defense. I mean, because you figure even if Connolly comes back, he only played a handful of games. Lorenzo Carter is probably going to move back into the linebacker position more, so he's probably going to need some help. And David Mayo, like I said, he is what he is. He had a lot, his first 4 seasons in Carolina, he was basically a special teams player. He comes here because we have no other options. He starts, he makes 82 tackles. Again, like I said, like someone told me, even on a bad team, somebody has to make the tackles. So I'm not downplaying him, Mayo, but if you're only going to sign a 3-year contract at $8.3 million, you're not expected much on the team. You are expected to be a fill-in linebacker. But you know what? I said if we go there also are a lot of linebackers in the draft towards second and third round that we could probably take a look at and pick up as well. So, you know, we have to wait to start a free agency to see what's going on, because I have a lot of questions of what direction the Giants are going after. And like I said, a legal tampering period will be coming up soon. And honestly, at that point in time, then we can kind of figure out what we're doing and what we're looking at. And again, this is Tim with Online Big Blue, bringing you the best in New York Giants sports talk and entertainment. Thanks for listening.